measure to sports. Why don't you use the same criteria for sports? So there's a different criteria for Arsenal and a different criteria for sports, but they play in the same league. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So there's a different criteria that should matter to Arsenal. Even though they play in the same league, there should be a different criteria that matter to sports. Now, they have 23 points from 10 games. They say it's a fantastic start. I'm not arguing with that. But Arteta has 24 points out of 9 games. It's just 9 games. Let's keep waiting. Let's see. They're still going to implode. So sports will not implode, but Arteta will implode. Make it make sense. That's why I said most of the fans are the people to blame for this. The subscribers, the fans who have this cult followership without. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you like the content. Make sure you stick a like on the video for the algorithm. Very important to do that. Make sure your notification bells are turned on. Make sure you check to make sure your notification bells are turned on. So when I drop pre-recorded videos or I go on a live stream, you can actually get notified. Very interesting topic. I'll just discuss real quick. I've been one of the few people on the internet heralding the prejudice and the unobjective take of the mainstream media about certain managers at certain clubs. I've said it for the longest time. I'm not seeking for the validation of the mainstream about Arsenal or ARTETA, but when platforms are created or feed the illusion of they're going to be fair across board or objectivity, and we see the difference in what they do in their action and the rhetoric, we have to call out the BS. We just have to call it out. Now, I saw on different platforms yesterday heralding and lauding the good start Spurs have had to the season. Shout out to them. It's a fair point. They've had a decent start. Having 23 points out of 10 is a decent return. Let's be real. Having 23 points out of 10 is a very good return. But the BS is when CONTE and Spurs are being heralded and give all these plaudits, but Arteta and Arsenal are being maligned, are being treated like they've not done nothing significant. I know Arsenal has been a banter club for the past few years, but for the past 18 to 24 months, we've been doing something significant in terms of the league. The growth has been moving from strength to strength. You can see the trajectory of the club. I don't care the prejudice or the dislike or the rivalry. Objectivity stands on its own. How can you, make it make sense for me, how can you be lauding Conte for having 23 points out of 30, which I said is still a good achievement, and you turn your nose on Arteta having 24 points out of 9? Mathematically, make it make sense. Cognitively, make it make sense. Literally and figuratively, make it make sense. You might not like Arteta, you might not like Arsenal, which is fair. We don't need your validation to be a good team that we are. But for you to always try and find a way to spin the narrative, like Arteta and Arsenal have not achieved anything, is just becoming boring. And people need to wake up and have their independent thought and critical thinking. I'm not making this video for the validation of the mainstream. I'm just calling out the bias, the prejudice towards Arteta and Arsenal. You on one program, you are lauding and you're giving all these plaudits to Spurs. Well, this is their best starts in their history. Like I said, shout out to them. But in the same breath, Arteta just played 9 games. It's nothing. They haven't done anything significant. Let's wait till when they get to like 18 games. So why don't you give the same measure to Spurs? Why don't you use the same criteria for Spurs? So there's a different criteria for Arsenal and a different criteria for Spurs, but they play in the same league. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So there's a different criteria that should matter to Arsenal. Even though they play in the same league, there should be a different criteria that matter to Spurs. Now, they have 23 points from 10 games. They say it's a fantastic start. I'm not arguing with that. But Arteta has 24 points out of 9 games. It's just 9 games. Let's keep waiting. Let's see. They're still going to implode. So Spurs will not implode, but Arteta will implode. Make it make sense. That's why I said most of the fans are the people to blame for this. The subscribers, the fans who have this cult followership without independent thinking. I'm not saying you shouldn't subscribe to platform. I'm against cancel culture. I just think We should actually have independent thinking, regardless who will follow. We should have objectivity, regardless of who will follow. It's very, very important. So you are not so snake or you are or not so you are not brainwashed into this nonsense that is being done these days. Like now, the truth is subjective. That's a lie. This truth stands solely on its own, regardless of validation from the west or from the east or from the north, from the south. The truth will always remain objective. There is no subjectivity around the truth. There's just subjectivity. Whether you hate it or you like it, it is the truth. And it always stands independent on its own. Fans need to wake up. They need to smell the coffee. They need to see what's being done here. Like I said, this is not for the validation of Arsenal that we need the mainstream validation. I'm just calling out the fact that fans need to look. You need to watch out for the BS. You need to have your independent thought processes. Don't let the platform, no matter how big they are, no matter how small they are, brainwash you. Don't let the fact that you have huge respect for a certain personality, they can be used or they can be bought to sell you BS and snake oil. Critical thinking and objectivity is being eroded in this society these days. We need to take a step back and apply our brains. Our phones should not be smarter than us. Our smartphones should not be smarter than us. It should not be. Like I said, let me reiterate it again. Arteta has 24 points out of 9 games. And people are questioning how good he is. But Conte has 23 points out of 10 games. Is the best thing since sliced bread. Make it make sense. Like I said, if you like the content, make sure you subscribe to this channel, stick a like on the video for the upgrading, and turn the notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one.